Hi. In this series of Hotel Tales, What's Your Story Chat series, I speak to Julian Wong, another Malaysian hotelier who has been working abroad for over 20 years. Julian is currently the general manager of Sheraton Hotel in Hanoi, Vietnam, and has been there since 2018. Prior to this assignment in Hanoi, Julian has been with the Marriott Group for over 20 years and has held positions with the group in Beijing, Shanghai, Huizhou, and Sanya in China. He has garnered multiple Marriott Global and Regional Awards for both his general management leadership as well as sales team leadership. In 2011, he was awarded the prestigious accolade of Asia Pacific General Manager of the Year for the Marriott Executive Apartments brand. During his spare time, Julian is passionate about traveling, enjoys local culture and culinary experiences, sports and arts, and is a keen supporter of local educational and environmental initiatives in whichever destination he is posted. We talked to Julian about his experiences working across geographical boundaries and cultures, adaptation to his new working styles, new food, new culture, and traditions are part and parcel of Julian's hotel career of 20 years. Let's find out what is Julian's story. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome to Hotel Tales What's Your Story Chat series. Today we speak with Julian Wong, the General Manager of Sheraton Hotel in Hanoi, Vietnam. Julian is born in Kuala Lumpur and a proven expert in Asian luxury hospitality and has an extensive knowledge of the international hotel market. During a career spanning 23 years at Marriott International, he has expanded his senior leadership expertise with assignments across 4 countries, 11 locations, and 6 Marriott brands. Julian, welcome to the chat series.
Hanley, thank you very much for inviting me to this session. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Julian. Julian, there are many young hoteliers today who aspire to work overseas to gain foreign working experience. How easy or difficult was it for you, who have been to so many places, to get adjusted working in a foreign country?
Well, I have a head start by actually not going overseas, but actually when I first joined Marriott International in 1997, I was posted to Sabah with the Renaissance Sandakan and Renaissance Kota Kinabalu at that time. I believe, Hanley, you're very well aware of that simply because you were my boss then. You were the Cluster Director of Sales and Marketing. I was the Associate Director of Sales, joining there. And whilst it's not international posting, it took me away from my comfort zone. I went there and, Sabah is unique. It's a very beautiful, we call island, city there. But again, right, it give me, especially in Kota Kinabalu, a chance to mix with the local, and also to learn as we go, right? Not a whole lot of difference, but again, like I say, it's out of comfort zone. But then as we move on to Sandakan, it was also another thing. Sandakan is much smaller. It's around 110, 120,000 population base at that time when I was there. It was a lot more isolated. People are a lot more colloquial friendly. But again, right, I would say the first 2 weeks to 1 month, it was a bit of a tough situation because, you're alone. You're there, for me, basically, I felt the kind of loneliness. But somehow, when I put myself a small goal of trying to overcome each day at a time. And I said, if I can last 1 more week, it would be good. And then I progressed on, and finally, I lasted basically 2 years there. Now, back to where international assignment comes in. I actively actually requested my area director of sales and marketing at that time, Paul Toner. I'm sure also Hanley, you know him, right? Well, he's a great guy. And that opportunity popped along in 2001. I was very fortunate. I was given the opportunity to move to Saigon, or we call it Ho Chi Minh City, the Renaissance Riverside Saigon. I was posted as a director of sales and marketing there. I would say that would be the start of my international assignment. I was there 2.5 years almost. It's a great city, Southeast Asia, right? Again, very similar to Malaysia. People are really very friendly there, warm. It makes you immerse and easier to adapt fast. The food was again right. Again, Hanley, I keep on referring to you because you have also have certain experience there. It's great, healthy food. But what really stands out in Ho Chi Minh at that time was the people. We have a very young generation here. The population, over there was having an average age at that time of around 25, 26 years. So again, you are dealing with a lot of young people, and you see a lot of energy. What helped me over there was also, the leadership team that I have, with me was, I think, really very global. I have an English GM, I have a suite F&B. Before that was German, and then I was dealing with Hong Kong, we call nationality, as well as Filipino. So again, that gives you a better understanding of a global perspective. But now, if I move on, if I pivot to my second assignment, Shanghai. Shanghai is a great city. It's a very big, very modern. I was posted there in 2003. It could be very fast moving because the city is really experiencing a lot of big spurt of growth, even as I joined them. So people are a lot more aggressive. It's very fast paced. Again, right, it has very four distinct climate there. So if you don't like winter, right, we call cold biting winter, Shanghai might not be the place for you. But again, right, it was my first assignment there. 2003 was a bit more tough, rough. So again, and also the people there, while English is well spoken, management level and all, it still take a bit of time to adjust to. My second assignment back to Shanghai in year 2007 was better because I was more prepared for that. So, if in conclusion, it really depends on the place that you are being assigned to, whether it's cities, countries, the people you work with, the culture there, food, level of competency of the folks that you deal with. And also your support channels, friends, peers, your boss, and also your direct reports. I would say that, for me, it works. You will get better as you rack up more assignments and years. I give you an example. Hanoi, I came in, I got settled within 2 weeks.
Wow. Yeah. So you are a man that has been really exposed in various cultures. You mentioned Vietnam and China. These are probably countries where you do not speak the local language, because I know you initially do not speak a lot of Mandarin. So for a non-Mandarin speaking individual working in China, what were your main language challenges or barrier that you faced, and how you overcome that? How did you overcome it?
Yeah, Hanley, that's a very interesting point that you mentioned now. I think you know me well, from our time called interaction. I speak zero Mandarin, right? Back in Malaysia. When I was in my formative years studying, the only Chinese lesson I have is POL, right? People on language. They do once a week or twice, once in 2 weeks, that kind of thing. So you learn nothing. So anyways, back to where in this question, I would say that it really depends on the cities that you are being posted to. I give you an example. In China, tier one cities like Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, Shenzhen. The level of English being spoken there are a lot more pervasive, if I can call that. It's more comprehensive. You are basically assured leadership team, management level, they speak, speaking of English. You might have a bit more challenge when you deal with line associates or line employees. Again, more well spoken. You see a lot more expatriates there, Westerners, Southeast Asian, this and that. So that basically make it a lot more easier for you to basically, to immerse and adapt. However, once you get out of the hotel, that's a different story. So if I may say that, it's very important to have certain, we call common words being used. by the population, they have to get by, I said, out of hotel side. Now, if I go into a tier 2, tier 3 cities, then the scenarios are totally different. I was posted to Wuhan in 2006 to open the Renaissance, Renaissance Wuhan there. That is a tier 2 city, right? Tier 2 city meaning to say it's a lot more localized. Management level, no, probably around 20-30% speak English or understand well. They can see, they can write, they can read, but they can't speak. I have even leadership team members, like director of engineering that don't speak English. So you have a challenge. And then I was also posted in 2013 to Renaissance Huizhou. That is a tier 3 city we're in, right? At that level, my leadership team, I have only 2 who can speak English. So that was really a big challenge. So you need to find a way to connect with them in that language, at least, informal. So what happened here is that, it was like baptism of fire, if I may say that. I mentioned to you earlier, I have zero understanding of the language, Mandarin, right? But I would say it was a blessing in disguise. I picked up Mandarin when I was, in Wuhan. What happened here is that in 2006, when I was posted to the Renaissance Wuhan, I was supposed to open the hotel. So it's a pre-opening thing. Now, pre-opening thing meaning to say you have time to do pre-works, right? Before the hotel, kick off, light up, kind of. But I quite fortunately, the hotel was delayed. The ownership seems to, delay the opening. So we have around 6 months of delayed in opening. So at that time, we have completed most of the works. So, you're basically sitting there scratching, right? That happened. I remember I was the director of sales and marketing there. My general manager, Ronnie Wan, he's an ABC, American-born Chinese. He said, Julian, you together with Michael Lan and together with, Lutz, he's a German and an Australian, right? You guys are in tier 2 city, right? And you can't even communicate with the local. So you better do something about it. And I said, we said, yes, definitely we want to. And he was kind enough to actually, engage a couple of tutors, Chinese tutors. So I did a 3 to 4 months comprehensive, intensive Chinese lesson there. And at least I get a lot of the common words that comes in. What I can give, for those who do not speak the language, advice is that you got to practice, and practice. Now, when I was doing that, with all the practice I do, people laugh at me. My staff laugh at me, my manager laugh, my boss laugh at me, but it doesn't matter. You got to build thick skin as you go. But that helps a lot because, I can, by the time I left China, 2018, I was pretty well versed. I can communicate even with the owners.
Oh, well done, Julian. And of course, today with Google Translate and all kinds of new app that is in the market, I think it also helps expedite the learning of the language as well. But during your time, I'm sure there was no Google Translate at the time.
You're correct in that, Hanley. It's a bit more, I wouldn't say primitive or Stone Age, but different.
You're right. Julian, across all these cultures, Vietnamese, the Chinese, and all that, there must be some kind of commonalities in all these cultures. What do you think they are, and can you share some with us?
Sure. One thing that's really for me is easier to move from one area to another assignment. Why I'm saying that because I'm not just talking about Marriott. You have also worked with Marriott before. The culture, the core values are extremely strong. It's the glue for all of us. So for me, basically, I'm 23 years with Marriott. So every assignment that I have in China and even up to here now, we are basically dealing with the people first kind of mentality. So with that said, we have a lot of common traits that we pull from hotel to hotel. And, in the past, I was more participative. Now I'm basically implementing it as a leader. I give you an example, when I opened a hotel in Wuhan. I also opened 2 hotels in Sanya. What happened is I do have a director of human resources, right, in all these cities. But as the leader, as a general manager, I'm the leader. Right? Basically, you lead, you walk the talk. So it's important that I help to pull through to help define the areas that we need to go and make sure that these commonalities, as you said, are being put through as a company. As in any company, the core values, the culture is really super critical. I call them the glue. On the other areas that I see commonalities is that the youth generation. I love dealing with youth because they give me a lot of energy. I was young once, right? But now no more, right? With this kind of situation, but we still dive back into the youth for energy and passion. I see them embracing technological changes very, very rapidly. Whichever city I was in, it is far more pronounced in the we call tier one city, the major cities. They are more rapid. They are even ahead of most of us. But for the secondary cities, tier three, I see the younger generation embracing very fast. I'm talking about digital. I'm talking about social media. I'm talking about cashless transaction. I'm talking on online, internet of everything. So you see it happening everywhere. In Hanoi, I would say they are, maybe 15 years behind China, if I can say that, compare, top city like Shanghai and Beijing. But I see the younger generation starting to embrace that. So again, those are the commonalities. I see also in terms of food and beverage, even from Malaysia, everywhere you go, you see the changes that, that goes into food concepting. You see a lot more, we call go local, I call that localization of cuisine everywhere you go, because they're supposed to be the best. You are the expert in your own country. So that becomes part of the talking point. There are a lot more storytelling inbuilt into whatever we do, especially in the food and beverage we call arena. We also have a lot more focus on presentation, and in a lot of the Marriott, including this Sheraton Hanoi, we have actually come out with a culinary garden. We grew organics, we grew our own herbs, so that we use that to basically put into some of our signatures and also our dailies like coffees. Why storytelling? Why organic? Why sustainability? So those are the common things that we have. Again, the people side, every assignment, I keep on emphasizing the youth because I'm getting old, right? But the youth are the one that I see everywhere I go. The majority of them, they're hardworking, they are passionate, they are just so fresh, they absorb like a sponge. They're energetic, they really want to grow. And I see in a lot of spaces, right, they are maybe lacking, but they are really hoping to have a role model or a mentor to get them. So that is how I see it over the period I'm in.
Oh, thank you very much for the good advice and the tips shared. I'm sure our audience appreciate what you have just mentioned. And lastly, Julian, can you share with our audience who wishes to embark on a career in a foreign land? I mean, there are many hoteliers today who wishes to be exposed overseas, and even hoteliers to be new graduates who wants to come into the industry and wants to go to a foreign land. What would you advise them to do?
Right, Henry. I'm going to say about myself first. It has been a very exciting journey, a tremendous ride for me. Yeah, really very rewarding. I've been out of the country now 20 years, almost. Right, this year will be basically my 20 years anniversary outside of Malaysia. I have learned a lot. I have also contributed. I have also, basically strengthened up in terms of mental and also what we call strength is good. But until today, I still have a lot of passion in what I'm going to do, right? For the years that I'm still in the international area. It helped to create global mindset for sure. Right now, I'm not dealing with just one nation. I'm dealing with across the board. But again, that helped me to create who I am today. So I'm really very grateful. And given a second life to go through this again, I will still choose this route. But again, that said, these are all the rewards and also the benefits, advantage, and control. Whilst overseas. But there are also some kind of we call trade-off you need to be ready for. Vis-a-vis, my family, my parents, I see them maximum twice a year. I see them very fast when you see them lesser. There are periods where I was opening hotel, I hardly see them basically, maybe once a year or even So you miss out on those. You miss out on local food. Malaysian food is always the best. I can't remember. It's great. I miss that. I miss durian cuisine. But those are the things that you need to trade off. But also, importantly, you also miss out on your friends in Malaysia. Right now, I do still have close friends, like you and a few others, but we don't communicate as often as we do. So those are things you miss, and every time you see them, we all age, anyways. That's how it goes. Some of the advices I like to give, to help you move into the preparing yourself for international journey, is that you need to be resilient. Resilient meaning to say that the grass is not always greener on the other side. I just want to say no, that's reality, but you need to be pragmatic, resilient in the sense that if you face any kind of roadblocks, any challenge, and you fall down, pick yourself up fast. Otherwise, you might be it'll be a challenge for you to continue on. The other areas that I can think of is be respectful for people and the culture of the host country you're in. Remember that we are always the guests, right? Those are the host country. We are there to actually help to improve the let's say the workforce that I'm being entrusted to be better. Why I'm saying that is because I see some of my colleagues that fail simply, and these are good people. I see some Western colleagues coming in and say, "Hey, look, the mindset is that I'm better. I'm better than others." So again, when you do that, you create arrogance, you create resentment. You might not assimilate, and eventually you lose out. And I see some of them, unfortunately, that we left bitter, right? So that's why I say respectful for people and culture is super critical. Be humble, right? Be humble. We listen more. When you listen more, you can do more. That's how I see it, right? We don't carry ourselves by the title that we have, but we actually build respect through how you actually engage and lead people, right? I would also advise you this: set yourself a time frame for adaptation. I give you an example. For me, in the past, I set myself a maximum of 3 months to settle in. But within that 3 months, I list out things that I need to do, and I will time it. I will review it every week to see where I am. In that situation, I'll give you an example. The most difficult assignment I have, I took 3 months to settle in. But as the year rolls in, it becomes easier. Again, back to Hanoi, it took me 2 weeks to settle in by lining everything that I've gone through. So I say, when you go through this kind of learning curve, you improve as you go. I would also say when you are assigned overseas, the main thing, right? Prioritize work first before personal. Very important, right? You will enjoy later because when your work side is settled, everything becomes easier, right? But if you start prioritizing social, I'm saying that because I've seen examples. Expat that comes in and put, social, personal before work. And then when you have that, you raise the question mark from your superior, or from worst case, from the owner side. So why are we engaging this expatriate when he's not contributing? So be very realistic on that. One other point that I like to share is that lower your expectation wherever you go. Right? I always keep on saying that the grass is not always greener over the side. Right, so go in and say, hey, we might have some challenges there. I might have to face this challenge, that kind of thing. Go through that mentally, right? Because if you go through that, when things become better than what you thought, to me, it's a bonus, right? It becomes so much easier because once you put a very high expectations to say that this place that I'm going to go to is super good, I'm going to rock and roll there, this and that, right? Chances that you might face roadblocks, and that will make you, maybe pessimistic, or to some cases I've seen bitterness set in. Research of the assignment place that you need to go through. The best research, you ask me, is not online. The best is when you have people who used to work there or are still there. Check with them. Right, for me, easy because I'm in this industry, so I always call people who are already, some friends, colleagues who, just to check to see what is there, what is not, to prepare yourself to go in. I also say this is important. It helps me a lot. ensure that you hone your fundamental skill sets back in Malaysia, right? Learn as much as you can whilst you are doing your formative years, because when you go over, right, overseas, you are expected to contribute to lead, right? And I say it also again, right? Why is it important? Because it's very difficult now to go into the international assignment or arena without we call experience. Because whether it's the hotel or the owner will start asking, right, why do I need to employ an expat coming in without experience, right? So once you have more experience of those, then your value chain improve a lot. Um, um, Also go when you're ready, right? Again, I keep on saying managerial role. Again, I shared with you earlier, my first international assignment was in Saigon as a director of sales and marketing, right? So basically, I went there to lead, and I have all my fundamentals all ready to go. So again, when you have that, the chances as you start progressing, beside learning, you're also expanding your horizon. Like I said, a global mindset. So that's really critical. Um, After the work site, immerse yourself in the local culture. Food, don't be afraid to try food. Like I'm in Hanoi now. I go to the old quarter there a lot. I eat with the Vietnamese. Basically stores, right? Street stores is a lot more, different from Malaysia. You basically sit on stools and eat, right? So when you do that, you enjoy, and you can share actually when you're being asked by the locals what you do. Uh, also the places that you are in, visit them, understand them, and then you feel you're part of the culture, because when you're overseas there, let's say you're for 2 years assignment, that is your home, right? Malaysia is no longer your home, that is your home. So you best to make sure that you're comfortable there. And finally, enjoy what you do. Passion is important, right? You take your job, as a short job, you won't last long. That's how I see it.
Wow, Julian, those are really very valuable advices and tips. And you give so many advice, and I'm sure our audiences is going to listen to it again and again and again to make sure that it gets into them. No, thank you, Julian, for participating in this chat series. And I wish you and Sheraton Hanoi all the best for the rest of this year and for many, many more years to come. We have been speaking to Julian Wong, General Manager, Sheraton Hanoi in Vietnam. Thank you, Julian.
Once again, Hanley, thank you very much for inviting me to this session. I enjoy it as much as you enjoy it as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.